Hey folks, Rob here with another Rob Plays. This time I've decided to go back to a shooter which I haven't done for a while, and it's Menace. Menace is quite interesting because it stands out as sort of a profile Amiga ST game, being originally developed by DMA Design, and in fact was their first release before coming out on the C64 a little after. The C64 conversion was handled by Mr. Micro, as it says. I remember from a lot of games early on, a lot of smaller, earlier titles, and so this is sort of feels a bit of them punching above their weight. So let's dive in. We'll play Rookie just because it's a little it handles the collisions. There are all the power-ups. I actually like that it gives you those before you start the game. And there's your 6 realms. The basic idea is those are the 6 sector parts of planet Draconia, which is held by some enemy forces, and obviously, as you expect with most of these games, they can't be busted through a strike fleet, so they send a small fighter in to take them out. So you have to fight through those 6 waves, sectors, beat the Guardians, and then the planet is free for attack by the people you're working for. And that's how we get launched out of a giant space slug. Alright. Loading. Yeah, this, even on, so I own this on tape. I'm using disc image just for the sake of brevity for loading here, and it's such a slow load. I guess it's sort of that, well, we don't really think that important of it, but still, it's a little disappointing if you just gotta wait. But it actually does a few things that are a little more interesting than a conventional shooter. Primarily, really it's just the energy and power-up systems. Yeah, most shooters, you have 3 lives, you get hit and you die, and that's it. Here you've actually, we'll see it when it comes up, but you have a single shield bar. And you can actually take quite a lot of hits, which I think has its ups and downsides. I like it for a bit of uniqueness, but at the same time, it does lower the difficulty a fair bit. In fact, I was playing early and I've gotten to the 4th stage out of 6. And I only got 1 top. So we're up. So normal controls, you've got you can hold down, but it's really about just getting as close as you can to shoot. So in this case, we just got to blast through these bubbles. No, damn it. So you get your power-ups by destroying a complete wave of enemies. So in this case, there's like 3 of these big green ones, and I've taken 1 out. And again, these jellyfish, you gotta take them all out, and it's very tough to begin with. So you can see down the bottom, you've got 3 bars. The shield bar, which is your primary, your shields, when that runs out, you're dead. Yay, power up. Alright, then cannons. Cannons are short fire, they're sort of short range, rapid fire weapons. I only got the first, and this is another annoyance, to use the weapons you actually have to power them up twice. So first time you can see my ship change, because I got the cannon. I still didn't shoot it enough times. It's like 5 shots to change the icon. I actually find that really frustrating. It's actually something that happens a little more in Euro shooters than those that came out of Japan, and I actually find it a frustrating mechanic. Alright, now I've got cannons. Just because you have to be really, you have to be really fast on the fire button. And especially in this game where they spawn, where it comes out where you spawn them, it means you've got to be fairly aggressive. So I've got the laser, the first pass of the laser. So your power-ups range from a simple score bonus of 1,000 points. You shoot that, it turns into the cannon power-up. And then you shoot it again and it turns into the laser power-up, which offers, the laser is long range, is really helpful, particularly against the bosses. You can sort of see the laser travels across the screen and through enemies, which is very handy. Next up is a speed boost. There's a lot of shooters that do speed boost. Again, that's a power-up I'm not particularly a fan of, because it's sort of, you have to, it means that you're designed to be a lot slower at the start. I'd rather have the ship just move at like, pardon me, 1 good speed, and not worry about having to boost that up. And the other thing, after that, you get the outrise, which is what I have now. Those little 2 orbs at the top of the ship. When they're powered up, they can sort of, as you move around, they'll sort of fire, against. So at the moment, I've only grabbed the first one. And again, you know, I have to grab it twice to fully activate it, which is rather annoying. And I've just got the shield. Temporary shield boost, you know, not a shield boost, temporary invulnerability, so hence why I'm flickering, at least if you're watching this at 50 frames. And then above that, at the end of the chain, is a, pardon me again, is a shield refuel. And that refuels your shield, in essence, giving you, you know, helping you survive that a little longer. And as I've said, because you only have a single life, I think it gets very interesting from a challenge perspective. And now we're at the first boss, and this one's fairly easy. It's just shoot that eye, and at the same time, just avoid the, you know, whatever it is he's firing. You can have your own ideas there. One thing I do find a bit frustrating here is like the collision areas for your bullets means that, you know, you have to keep weaving around because of his fire. Bit frustrating that, but hey. First stage is done. And now we're off to the Vanguard War Zone. So let's go and load stage 2 in. But yeah, I mean, I remember checking up some of the reviews, and I remember Zap gave this some pretty low scores when it came out, in the 40s. I think it's harsh. I'd probably rate it a little higher. It's still not a great shooter, you know. It's important to note that when this came out, by the time this came out in the C64, we had the likes of Armalite and, you know, Katakis. And those are games that just really push the hardware amazingly. Great graphics, great sound, very tight, you know. Armalite had 2 players, whereas this has only got a single player. You know, more unique weapons, and generally more intricate wave patterns. So it does feel a bit of a downer over that. But I mean, I like, you know, in particular, I actually like that there's only those 2 weapons, just because it gives you, you know, you can focus on how they work effectively. The shield, you know, having an energy shield rather than lives, again, I think if I had like 3 lives, I think I would not get as far as I could in this. At least one thing I do like is that each stage has their own, you know, unique enemy sprites, as we see here. And the patterns are... While the patterns do repeat within the stage, each stage has their own set of enemies and patterns. So, it's a good enough compromise, I think. I hate these ones, especially. So there's a lot of ups and downs. I mean, I think the game is average at best. I mean, it's playable enough. I mean, it's smooth, you know. I do like they got parallax scrolling going, even though, as you can see with some of the scenery, like, I don't know how well it'll come out, but there's sort of a lot of masking on the scenery in terms of just black areas because of the challenges of not syncing the art up. But again, you know, I mean, I haven't really played this on the Amiga, so I can't tell, you know, how groundbreaking it was by comparison. But, you know, it's early days for DMA, and they led to a lot of good games from them later on. So I guess we can't really complain too much. So yeah, I mean, I would rather pull, you know, other shooters out of the collection first and foremost. You know, Armalite, Daenerys, Katakis, Enforcer, if I want to play a shooter. But I have put this on at some points for something a little different. Pardon me again. And yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I don't think you should go rush for your collection, even probably on the 16 bits. But it is playable enough. I mean, I picked it up fairly cheaply when I got it, and as a result, I don't think I was... Alright, got the shield. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, I don't think I was ripped off. curses, I really would want to upgrade my cannons. Yeah, missed one of the first ones in that wave. I do wish there was an indicator to see what speed level you're on. I think it's like 7 different levels of speed upgrade that you can get for the fighter. Alright, stage 2's boss. This one gets tough because if you don't shoot it, don't take it out quick enough, it'll spawn these mines. And I found, you can sort of see how these pattern of those. So there we go. Lasers out, so that's going to be interesting. Alright, now the mines. You can sort of see now they become very frustrating. They're going to do a lot of damage to me. Come on. I wish I'd been able to refuel the cannons before I dived into the boss, because that would have probably helped me take it out. I like the idea that now there's sort of multiple paths, multiple phases. But at the same time, it is intensely frustrating to just have to weave around. Come on. Yeah, stage 2 is done. 2 done, 2 to go. Oh, 4 to go. Now the Carnage Rift. So stage 3 out of 6, which about as far as I get normally, and considering how much damage I took fighting that second boss, I'm not sure I'm going to get past this one. But hey, it's a pretty good run when you think about it. So let stage 3 load. I really wish games actually had counters. I don't know if I showed it when I did Retrograde quite a while back. But when that loads the levels, it actually has a ticking counter, even on the tape, and you can just watch that tick down. And I think that actually adds something for people, playing for old games, especially when, unlike Shinobi, which I did last week, it actually had that little counter that indicate not the counter. It actually has the little press fire to start message. So a level coming in without doing that just feels very, very. Very, very frustrating. Meanwhile, yeah, I've sped up too much and really am finding it a little frustrating. Plus my shield's almost gone. Woohoo! Alright, cannons are back on. Now that is unfair, that wave pattern. No gap at all, good pattern. You should be able to just have something to get through, but the fact that the enemies just block the entire screen and aren't staggered out is just terrible wave design, if you ask me. Alright. Now we're armed up, but I really need to get a shield power up. Come on. Damn it. Oh well, that's game over. There we go. Unable to penetrate the defences. So with that, I mean, let's see. Yeah, so final thoughts. Menace is okay. I don't think it's a great shoot 'em up. It's definitely not one that can stand, you know, among the icons of these kind of games on the C64. It's playable enough for a quick play now and then. You know, I mean, as I said, you know, I really don't like the power-up system. I think that's my biggest frustration with the game. And I really like the idea that you could, say, collect an extra life. And yeah, if the power-ups took less hits to cycle through, or they were designed a little better to stand out, I think it would improve that system a lot more. And the patterns are a little too simplistic. I mean, I like the fact that at least they're unique on each stage. But there's that repetition that really just makes the levels drag on a lot more than they need to. And with that, thanks again for watching. You know, if you've subscribed, thanks again for doing that. If you haven't, please do consider it. You know, I put these gameplays out every week or so. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please do consider leaving a thumbs up or a comment down below. If you want to see new videos as I release them, go ahead and hit the subscribe link for more.